Welcome to Branding Room Only, the podcast where your personal brand gets a front row seat. I'm Paula Edgar, and if you're here, it's because you know your brand isn't just about what you do. It's about how people experience you. In each episode, you'll hear stories, strategies, and lessons from leaders and influencers who built their brands and made their mark. And I'll share the tools you need to do the same. Let's go. Hi, it's Paula Edgar, and welcome back to Branding Room Only. Today, I want to talk about something that I hear all the time. People tell me, I didn't post about that event or I didn't share that story. I meant to, but it's too late. I missed the moment. They feel like if they didn't post in real time, they've somehow lost the opportunity. But here's the truth. Experiences, my friends, are evergreen. I'll say that again. Experiences are evergreen. If you've lived it, learned from it, or connected through it, it still matters, and it's still valuable for your personal brand. Why don't people share? A few reasons. They're overwhelmed in the moment. Raise your hand if that's you. Sometimes it's me. They convince themselves that once the moment has passed, the story isn't relevant, or they think that no one wants to hear something that happened too long ago. But your audience isn't checking a stopwatch. They don't care if you share in real time. What they care about is the meaning, the reflection, and the lesson that you bring. And here's the shift I want you to make. Your experiences don't expire. They're not milk with a use-by date. They are assets, and assets grow when you revisit them. I'll give you an example. I still talk about the fact that I was a contestant on Wheel of Fortune. That was more than a decade ago, but it's a story about risk-taking, about mistakes, about visibility, about disappointment, about fun, and about stepping outside of your comfort zone. And people remember it. That is personal brand power. When you share an experience, whether it was last week, last year, or 15 years ago, you're not filing a news report. You're offering perspective. And perspective is always fresh. People like to see growth. They like to see reflection. So let's talk about it. Picture this. Maybe 10 years ago, you spoke at a conference, and it was the first time you saw a now famous leader on stage. You could still say today, 10 years ago, I spoke at XYZ conference, and I heard something that continues to shape the way I think about leadership. That story doesn't just tell people what happened. It shows your journey, your credibility, and your growth. Or maybe you had a client meeting years ago that taught you something about resilience or negotiation or leadership. That's still relevant. That's still a teaching tool. So here's the strategy. Stop thinking in terms of too late. Think of your past experiences as your own personal library. You can always pull from it. And when you share, you don't just drop the memory. Don't just add the reflection. You want to reflect and you want to connect to today. You want to show your growth. You want to add the lesson. You want to share the point that was a point of joy or fun or learning to show why you might be reflecting on it later, but it's never too late, right? Your career is not a series of expired moments. It is an unfolding story, and every chapter can be revisited, reframed, and used to strengthen your personal brand. So the next time you hesitate to share because you didn't post in the moment, tell yourself this. It's not too late. It's right on time. The time that you are thinking about right now, why you're even, considering reflecting on it, shows that it was something that was impactful to you. Obviously, it's something that happened to you, but it shows that you're having perspective and the ability to reflect back. And we, meaning your audience, meaning the people who are in your sphere, meaning the folks that you can be impactful to, whether that's in a room, on a Zoom, or online, we deserve to hear about those reflections because that's how people learn. We don't just learn from people telling us, but we learn from people showing us and showing us their growth. So, here's what I want you to do now. Go back to that conference photo you never posted. Reflect and look at that fun, surprising story that you've been sitting on. Think about that powerful lesson that you thought you missed a chance to share. You haven't missed a chance to share it. Share it now because, again, your experiences are evergreen and your personal brand is evolving, ever evolving. And the people in your sphere and your personal brand deserve to benefit from your experiences. That's it for today. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you have not already, go to ratethispodcast.com/branding. Again, that's ratethispodcast.com/branding. Leave a review, share the podcast so that more people can discover the power, the evergreenness, and the it's not lateness of personal branding experiences, because your story doesn't expire, and neither does your personal brand. Until next time, stand by your brand, and I can't wait to see some of the posts that are not too late. Bye. That's it for this episode. I appreciate you hanging out with me on Branding Room Only. Now, please do me a quick favor. Head over to ratethispodcast.com/branding so more people can join this conversation. And make sure to stop by paulaedgar.com/events to see what's next. Whether I'm live, online, or in person, I'd love to see you there. See you next time in the Branding Room. And until then, stand tall, shine bright, and always stand by your brand.